Hi everyone, my name is Vikas Pota, and greetings from London. It's 6 p.m. over here. I'm really thankful to all of you for the opportunity to speak to you on a weekly basis. And over the last so many months, we've been doing this, and we're bringing friends on. But today we have a really special moment that I'm really so delighted to be able to reach you about and tell you more about. And that really does involve around this question. Just earlier today, I was speaking to a friend of mine, Anthony Bloom at the M Education Alliance, and I was telling him the plans that we have for T4. And when you talk about, well, the Teacher Tech Summit's taking place in April, alongside that, we're doing this global survey of the use of tech by teachers. We also have this masterclass playlist that we're trying to do on Flipgrid so that teachers can upload and show their practice that we'll bring together. And then in October, we'll be doing World Education Week. And then there's a whole bunch of different ideas that we have that we're trying to give birth to. And everyone looks at me in bewilderment. And this gentleman earlier, who I said to you is a friend and is a member of our T4 Alliance of education NGOs and nonprofits, said, Vikas, tell me, how many of you are there in T4? How many members of staff do you have? How many colleagues do you have? And I laughed, and I said, why do you ask, Tony? And he said, well, the amount of ambition that you have and the amount of work that you have, surely it's more than you. And the reality is that we have a very small team, right? So we have Kirsten Thompson, that many of you know. We have Daniel Gobi from Nigeria, who's an intern. We have Lawrence Harrison, who's just joined us. But that's it. And in prior events, we had friends like Brian Baptista and a whole bunch of other friends that actually came together. But today I am, and as a demonstration of the kind of support that you all have been giving to all of these activities over this last, since April, May last year, where so many of us came and joined hands on the basis that, we all believe that in these very challenging times, there is something to be said about community and community building. And so like-minded people from all over the world came together because of the use of these technologies, to come and support and put their weight behind this. And so one of the things that we did was we asked for ambassadors, social media ambassadors. And Kirsten and I remember we were flabbergasted when we had almost like 2,500 ambassadors online who signed up to our list and helped promote our events. And then subsequently, there's been a huge desire and appetite of some of these ambassadors to actually come forward and do that much more. They want to commit more time, more resource, more thinking, help us shape our agenda. And today, I'm really pleased that I am announcing our new country ambassadors. But before I do that, I want to read to you the very impressive list of countries that they come from. They range. They're from 43 countries, including, if I start at the top, Albania, Argentina, Armenia, Australia, Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Bangladesh, Brazil, Croatia, the Czech Republic, Egypt, Finland, Georgia, Ghana, Greece, India, Iraq, Japan, Jordan, Kenya, Lebanon, Malaysia, Mexico, Moldova, Morocco, Nepal, Nigeria, North Macedonia, Palestine, Peru, Philippines, Romania, Saudi Arabia, Serbia, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Sri Lanka, Tunisia, Turkey, Uganda, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates, United States of America. And so this is where all of our friends, our new family members come from, and who I'm really grateful to. So today, as a way of actually talking about our country ambassador program, I thought what would be useful is to bring 3 such individuals to you on our live stream, where we could talk to them and ask them what was their motivation in coming forward, and what do they hope to accelerate as a result of being an ambassador for us, a country ambassador for us. So please join me in welcoming friends of mine. Firstly, I want to bring on Sile Magubone from South Africa. We have Abhilasha Singh, who is in the UAE, and Sophia Kozuli from Greece. Please welcome them to this T4 TV live stream. Welcome, guys, and thank you so much for coming forward as our country ambassadors. I'm going to start this conversation with Sophia, if it's okay, and we'll come to Greece. Sophia, tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us why you wanted to become a T4 ambassador.
Good evening. My name is Sofia Kouzouli. I am a teacher of English from Greece. I work in the western part of Greece and at a primary school. And what really made me, first of all, what I really wanted to join the T4 was the name itself. I mean, it's so inspiring. Teachers for education, for collaboration, teachers for leadership, teacher well-being, teachers technology. These 4 words, I mean, they express the values and what we need to know and to have in order to cope with the challenges of the present and the difficulties of the future. And really, it's what empowers us, what makes us be a little more stronger from when we are with our students and express our voice. I mean, this is another important thing that made me join the T4. It's that it puts at the center of the discussion the teachers, because we are really the ones that make decisions in our class. So T4 brought into focus teachers and schools because they matter. Students matter, teachers matter, schools matter. If we join forces, teachers from around the globe, then the vision that T4 expressed will really empower us and help us help children achieve their full potential. And this is part of the core of our job, I think.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Sile, you're in South Africa, and you're not a teacher, but you're in the education community. Tell us about what drove your motivation to become a country ambassador, because you have a pretty full-on job. You know, you're quite a busy guy. You know, what you do is incredible in South Africa, but what made you want to step up and say, I want to do this?
Thanks, Vikas. I think the primary thing is that education is really the most transformative force in our lives. And it sounds cliche to say that a lot, but that's actually where we spend most of our lives. From the moment that you leave home to go to school, from kindergarten up to university, that's where you spend most of your time. And that's where you are shaped and molded as a person. And so for me, although not being an educator by background, I'm a strategist, but the impact of education in my own life has shown me how important it is to actually just invest in this one transformative force in anyone's life. You know, whatever path you choose after that is completely up to you. And unfortunately, it so happens that the people that are the driving force of the education sector, the teachers, are not recognized for the important work that they do and for the transformative work that they do. And for me, that's the primary motivation for me to both to be with the fellowship that I work at, Jack's Global Fellowship, but also to then become a country ambassador for T4 in South Africa, to really push that narrative that, hey, these are the people that are driving the basic change in our universe, in our world, and we need to rally all that we can behind that. And yeah, so that's my primary motivation for becoming a T4 ambassador.
Thank you for sharing that. Abhilasha, you're in school in the UAE. Tell us more. You've been very supportive of our work for the last year or so. And tell us, what is it that resonates to you?
Thank you so much, Vikas, and thank you so much for this lovely opportunity and the platform that you have created. I'm a principal in Shining Star International School, Abu Dhabi, and I'm a Teach SDG ambassador. First of all, the 17th goal of SDG, the global collaboration. And this is the biggest learning that has come out of T4 and the connections that we've been able to make. Having said that, COVID-19 induced disruption in the education. So, all my teaching life, I don't think and I say for all the entire education community in the world, we were not prepared for this disruption, but we managed very well, because that's the agility with which the success is the agility with that you adapt to the new environment. And while we did that, this is now the phase to learn more and to learn new attributes and new things that you want to bring to the end to a first of all to at the macros level to your community, and then also to make connection to the global community, to learn more from here, what goes from here to the future. So when we are looking at education 2040, then definitely this is where we want to be, to learn new skills and to also bring these learning skills to schools.
Thank you for sharing that. And when you think about any of these kinds of programs, I see it as, okay, what will it help you as individuals accelerate, right? So it has to be of use to the country ambassadors like yourselves in terms of, well, what does T4 help you to do faster, deeper, quicker, and at scale? I'd love to hear that from, I'll go to Sophia first. What did that drive your motivation, and what is it?
First of all, I think that when we collaborate it's a huge global collaboration with so many teachers, we will learn from the expertise of colleagues. And I think it's very important to share our stories with each other and learn from each other, from our colleagues from other parts of the world. I think it's the way to build resilience, and it is such an important quality, resilience, in difficult times as the ones that we have been living. And to build our trust from each other, to trust each other. I am an e-twinning ambassador in Greece, and I know how much, and I have experienced how much it means to me to collaborate with European educators, and how many positive results it has brought to my students. And I have collaborated in global projects about climate change, the climate action by the amazing Cohen Timmers, and the Global Goals project with Jennifer Williams. And we can see that sharing what we do with each other, we learn, and we become agent of change from our school, because it's easy to say that we cooperate. We always talk about cooperation, about autonomy, but then when we really have to do it, then problems come up, and then we need a little help from friends. And with being part of such a huge global partnership, I mean, you think that you have friends everywhere. Not only you think, but you can see them. You can feel them in your everyday reality, at work and other times, not only work. I mean, we exchange messages on what we do, things that happen and how we cope with. We give courage to each other, and I think this is empowering us. And then if we feel confident, if we feel empowered, then we can share this with our students, and they become empowered, and they become autonomous, and they believe in themselves, in their potential. So I mean, it's really what my colleague says about the transforming power that education has. It starts from us, and we can share it with our students, with our community, and then it becomes huge, and then change happens, and this is what we want: positive change. So that's what I want I hope to achieve with T4: positive change for me as an educator, for my colleagues, for my community, for my country, and for the global community, for all the world, because we are all the same, and we have the same needs, and we have a vision. So it's better if we share our vision with people who truly believe in it, because we know that it may become true.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Sophia. Sila, when I talk about accelerants, tell me, the large conference that we did in May, where we had over 100,000 teachers, then we had World Education Week, where we had, I think, 7, 8, 9 schools from South Africa. What does this all add up to in your head? I'd love to hear that. And, don't forget, we have our Teacher Tech Summit coming up as well. And I'd love to get your thoughts on this.
Yeah, definitely, because I think that some of the transformative impact is not really that obvious from the individual events, right? But as soon as you kickstart the conversation, it starts a process where not only just for students and for teachers and for anyone else around that, which is very important, because as parents, as uncles, and everyone else who's around the education community must have a very deep appreciation for what that actually means and what the value of that is. And so opportunities like the Teacher Tech Summit or World Education Week, in their demonstration of what really good teaching looks like, what excellent teachers are, and the demonstration, the celebration of that is actually immediately transformative, because everyone has the sense of, oh no, I'm an accountant or this or that. But the mother of all professions, to use another cliche, is the one that molds all of that. And as soon as you actually show those good examples of demonstrating what the actual impact of teachers is in the classroom and beyond, it immediately switches a light in everyone's mind, and they go, wow, this is exactly the kind of people that we need here. So we need to build more platforms like this, more platforms like World Education Week, like the Teacher Tech Summit, where experts at what they do, teachers come in and they share what works, what doesn't work. This is the kind of thing that we're looking at. And especially in a society like South Africa, we need to see more of that, because these are actually not only the actual role models in being just the experts that they are at what they do, but also the builders of future role models. So for me, that's...
Thank you so much. And before I come to Abhilasha, I should speak a little bit about the Teacher Tech Summit that's coming up on the 17th of April, which is a Saturday, which is a free online global conference for teachers. That's going to span about 3 hours, where you can register at www.t4.education. And what we're looking to do is look at these 5 areas in detail, right? So we're trying to find teachers who excel in the use of tech to actually upload their their videos onto our Flipgrid. And so we can select some of you actually to take part in the live event, because we believe at T4, and this is the point I think we were making earlier, that teacher experience trumps everything else. And so when you have teachers who have grappled with and succeeded incorporating technology in their practice, I think that's humongously powerful, right? So we're looking for teachers and we're going to select them. So that's why you need to go to the Flipgrid and upload your videos. And actually don't tell us what you're going to do, show us. It's a show and tell effort. So don't get on a mobile phone and look at a screen and say, I'm going to do this. Actually show us, you know how to do that. And so please do. So the first thing that we're trying to cover is how to design the learning experience for hybrid environments. The second is, how do you create community in online classrooms? The third being, how do you create good digital content? The fourth is how to assess learning in online environments. And the last one is, how do you ensure equity and inclusion in online learning? So if you, for example, are an exemplar teacher and you think that one of these 5 areas, you have it absolutely nailed, and you want to share your practice so that others can benefit, then please go to our Flipgrid and make sure that you upload your videos, so that we can look at that pool of teachers and maybe select you to actually participate on the 17th of April. Abhilasha, you have participated and supported, the first T4 conference, World Education Week, and now for this year, you're a country ambassador. And tell us, what does this accelerate for you?
So, like my colleagues here have said, and I resonate completely with that, that the learning experiences that it brings and the learning opportunity that this event brings, and being a T4 ambassador brings to not just the community and on a personal level, but at the same time, the making the global collaborations and learning with each other. Now, the Indian concept of Vasudevaya Kutumbakam, the whole world is my brotherhood. And when the school visions and also, I think all of us over here and the entire learning community, the education community believes that our young learners are the global change makers. And the global citizenship is at the heart of our teaching and learning in the school. So those experiences are very important to be experienced by our teachers, and then they bring these learning experiences to the classrooms. So like Sophia is also a goal project facilitator, and we know that how much we have enjoyed with our students making these connections in the climate action project, take action global, in the month of March earlier in 2020, when we're just moving into this COVID-19 school lockdown, and then now presently with the goals project. So these are just a few few projects to speak of, which are bordered on or anchored in global collaboration and empathy at the root end of the design thinking process, that it brings the school, the student, and the teacher together to converse. And the connections that are built, the social emotional learning connect that the teachers make with the students. There's so much to speak on that. And there's so much beautiful work that sort of unfolds in front of you when you listen to those conversations. Now, what has happened now is that in the regular school, we would be walking the corridors and learning walks, and you just pop into a classroom and see what's happening. Now we are ghost walking. I call it ghost walking because we're just silently creeping it into classroom, listening to the conversations, and the lesson observation format has changed, and we're just looking at those things that we want to ensure that how the teachers engage the students. And like all the things, all the five list that is there for the Teacher Tech Summit, all that is very important, because this is where now, with the hybrid learning environment, that we need to prepare our teachers. So we were in just a small bit on a micro level for my school in UAE, that we were in hybrid mode in the month of in the second term in September onwards, and we know what a difficult time it was to manage both the audience, one online and then one face to face, and the teacher had to manage both. Was she prepared to do that? Did we empower the teachers enough with the wherewithals to manage both the environments? So, this is where the next round of learning is going to be, because a lot of schools around the world are still online. So, they've not experienced the hybrid mode of learning. So, these events, and I'm extremely grateful to you for having created this, because I know 200,000 teachers with us in the month of May when we had that great event. So it was amazing, and it has been a great learning experience for all that. This will continue. This snowballs into, it keeps growing into some great learning in the future. So that is what I'm here for.
You're very kind. Thank you so much. And like I said, when we started this, it was very much, an expression of we should be doing as much as we can to bring people together, right? And so that's what, when we thought about T4, that's what it was, which was to show solidarity and build global community, because the pandemic has brought all of us to our knees, right? And so there's that receptivity in terms of learning from different contexts, but there's also something quite incredible about teachers from across boundaries and territories saying, hey, I'm with you, and hey, I can learn with you, and hey, these are my resources that I can offer to you. And that's what I think is really powerful about what we are doing at TIFO and what we're committed to. Abhilasha, you want to interrupt?
Can I just make one intervention? So, before the COVID-19 experience of the entire online experience, I've experienced with Teachers Without Borders. And this was something that at that time when I registered for it, say in 2009, it was something a very novel experience. And we engaged with it very reluctantly, and also few and far between kind of a moment, because one was engaged with schoolwork and this was sublimation out of your schoolwork. But little did we know that, this is going to be the mode of learning in the future, and the global connections would be so important to make, because this actually now is learning without borders.
So when I look at the beauty of the T4 community, it really is very global. And what I'm really enjoying and learning from actually is the richness of perspective and engagement that we see from areas that I just have no experience of or no expertise in or never have interacted with. So this is an example. Here is Arij from Saudi Arabia, who is our country ambassador for that country. It's wonderful to see people like Arij, teachers and leaders from all over the world come together. And I think it's that very rich tapestry that we put together from around the world that leads to a greater understanding of how we improve education for everyone, right? And so that's the commitment that we have. I should also once more reiterate to everyone, I know there's a heck of a lot of friends on here who are watching, as well as a number of country ambassadors. I want to tell you all that the Teacher Tech Summit is on Saturday, 17th of April. It's a free online global conference for teachers. And we're looking at these subjects, which I'm going to flash on to make sure that we try to tackle, so that we use teachers as exemplars to show and tell other teachers how they do this. And so these are some really big and chunky subjects, which I think we would all benefit from understanding more about and seeing how other teachers actually grapple with, because I think there's something really powerful in this. And so friends, I want to bring this live stream to an end. But I'm really proud that the T4 family has enlarged once again. And we have so many friends from around the world who have joined us. But it goes without saying that I should thank my colleagues, right? Who have so far been putting in a heck of a lot of effort and tolerating all my silliness, I should say. And so I definitely wanted to thank Kirsten and Daniel, who are in the UK and in Nigeria, who have been helping put and marshal and bring everyone together. So thank you guys for everything that you're doing. I'm very grateful. None of this would be possible without having a team, and this is the A team, as it were. Sophia, Abhilasha, Sihle, and all of our country ambassadors, please know from the bottom of my heart and from my colleagues that we owe you a debt of gratitude, and we really look forward to working with you for this year. And let's make everything that we do a success. And it comes from actually activating your networks, your relationships, to make sure that they take advantage of all these opportunities, right? And so we want to learn from this, and we want to make sure that we promote an equitable education for all. And that comes from making sure that teacher voice is prominent and is at the heart of everything that we do. Once again, friends, thank you so much. And many, many, many congratulations to our new T4 country ambassadors who come from 43 countries. On that note, good night, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.